me get some music. Yeah. Right. We got a live stream pregame show. We're waiting to see somebody in the chat shows up. All right. We have one view from. Welcome to the chat. Well, we're going to start talking about what um, what is it. We know that Shooter won't be in this game. Unfortunately, he's got one of his fingers. Uh, that's his injury. They are going to see if it's serious or not. And it's not. He's not going to be in this game. He's not going to be in this game. Um, he's not going to be um, doing anything in this game. He's not going to be probably on the first game versus Golden State. That's what they are thinking. What's the timetable for him to come back? Uh, I don't know how serious the injury is. And I know that sometimes need to know basis for fans is kind of like the way these things are managed. Uh, and I'm talking about like we saw that with other injuries in other years where we had a timetable. For example, Kendrick Nunn, we were told that he would go this, he would start this date, then this other date, and we waited for the whole year. He couldn't make it. Uh, I'm glad that he's now there. I think he's going to be a weapon offensively, defensively, any possible. Um, but have to uh, navigate with what we got, and I don't know what we are going to have as a roster today. Uh, and that takes me to the last game. Uh, that game was kind of disappointing in certain ways, and there's some positive and there's some negatives of the last game. We saw uh, some guys scoring, uh, and we saw some guys active there. Uh, the shooting wasn't going in. The shooting was uh, kind of bad, but we saw some players that somebody calling it uh, uh, the fake run at the end, because we saw that last year that the Lakers would fall behind, then would go and make it a, I don't know, 3 or 2 point game, and then they will lose again at the end. Now, the situation. What's the situation with the Lakers? The situation with the Lakers is right now very difficult for me to digest. First off, because we saw what happened in the last game, a 4 guards rotation, and I'm sure that Darvin Ham might need to use raw talent or G leaguers like In the case of Matt, um, I forgot his last name, um, but he has proven he's a good scorer for at least one game. But I don't know if guys are going to need to see nine. But it's either him or Swider. You know, we need shooters. We need shooters, and we need those kind of shooters who can give you a bunch of threes, long distance floor spacing type of thing. And I understand. Um, I understand that guards would probably make the guards would probably make this kind of offensively kind of work because they can make cuts, run around, keep the defense on their toes, um, find themselves in their spot alone because some screen worked out. Four guards it's a really quick team, but it's also a really vulnerable team in terms of defense. And that's my problem with that. I don't know if Darvin Ham is going to use that, or I don't know how much he's going to use that kind of teams. Probably he can get away with you know going at Golden State that way. But winning against Golden State, don't think that our victory against Golden State was a measurement of how much we can do against that team. They tend to be very, I don't know what's the mellow about those things, because they are really taking care of the stars. I mean, the stars play, but the stars play at certain speed, at certain level. It's always more about how the new guys can get into, the complex flow offense that it uses. Um, being said that, um, you would have to use raw guys like Max. Um, I'm forgetting all the last. Um, let me go to my Lakers app because I need to. Max Christie. They're going to have to use him at certain point because one thing that the Lakers could do is bring LeBron and JTA, but or having in the power forward position, having Wendell Gabriel and um, Anthony Davis as the big front line, LeBron James or JTA. That's three, and we would have to have two guys that shoot well. I can't have in a lineup Davis, LeBron, Gabriel, or Davis, Gabriel, LeBron at the three, and then have Ross. That's not going to work. That's not going to work because then have shooting. You might have Like if you include there Kendrick Nunn is gonna be the only floor spacing. Maybe Davis, maybe, but it's a big maybe. It's it's not something you want to count on. Um, whether Gabriel, he's practicing his shooting. When I don't know, I haven't been in the practice, so I can't tell what they have seen. But for what I have seen, I wouldn't put that lineup together. I would use them in a different ways. Like I would use a lineup with Davis, Wendell Gabriel, and LeBron. But I would put, obviously Schroeder is not going to be in this game, right? But I would put so two guys that can floor space. And right now, it would be Pat Bev and Kendrick Nunn. That's a lineup I could live with. First, because they can defend, right? And second, because Pat Bev is a 40% shooter and from 3 point line, and Kendrick Nunn can shoot the three, and he's a scorer, like he's a shooter, right? So those two guys are gonna do some floor spacing, and they leave Wendell Gabriel uh, alone, he might score a 3 point shot, or he's fast enough to get into the lanes. And LeBron is a 36% shooter, so LeBron is not that you want to leave to do outside shots because he's going to make them, um, at least a lot of them. Um, so that I can live with that lineup, you know, but want Anthony Davis to be in the middle if he doesn't have to. That's why we have two other centers. And if we don't think we have enough height or whatever, um, you know, I know Huff didn't show much in preseason. Um, the opportunities he had, but he hadn't have uh, enough sample say, this guy is G League, like I heard saying. I seen Huff being very aggressive, and I seen Huff being, but remember, Huff, if you can't have him being really part of that offense in a way that that it's meaningful, and he's gonna have bad games. So I heard from one bad game that he had where he didn't show anything, that he wasn't, um, um, into the level that it requires. Now, I want to talk also about another thing that to me was a little bit disturbing, and it was the foot of the part of the game when you see um, Pat Bev, calling the guys for a huddle, and um, Russell Westbrook kind of refused to go into the huddle. Um, the closest thing is like he leaned really, really outside, and we see Anthony Davis like also talking to him, right? But he never gets into the huddle. And there's a moment where Pat Bev just give up and walk away, right? Gives up. So that's not something we want to see as fans. That's not something like that makes you believe in all this friendship. I know Pat Bev is trying because he is uh, putting uh, messages like, we're friends now, all that kind of stuff. And, I see them smiling and talking and all that kind of stuff. But in a game where, there, he's asking to huddle, um, Westbrook is not responding the right way. I don't know if there's something Pat Bev said to Westbrook before. And you see, as aggressive as you and as in your case, Pat Bev is, he's also very loyal to the team he's playing with. And that is good. That is something that is actually a good thing. Um, and he looked like he wanted Ross in that huddle. He looked like he wanted players to be in the same page. And that is something we need. That is something we need in the culture that Darvin Ham is trying to build, right? That is one of the things that he wants. Chemistry, chemistry, chemistry is one of the things that he's been saying that he needs the team. And then the other thing is, with culture and chemistry comes the identity. And we are seeing good defensive identity. I think it's going to get better with time. The same thing happened to the championship Lakers. The chemistry, actually, the chemistry worked a lot faster than what people expected. But the other thing about the Lakers in that year is that, as this year and the year before, and last 3 seasons, Lakers have been basically a build-up team where it's a lot of bunch of new guys, and now we have like the 2020, a new coach. So there's a lot of things to get used to, and like hoopers know that, players know that. Chemistry is not something that comes right away. It could, but it's not the norm. And and the problem is that if Ross behaves like he doesn't want to have to huddle or be part of the team, like he's in the feeling, it's going to be toxic for the team. This is going to be, and it's I don't know. Last season, it looked like he's that guy, and before that, people, like, when Ross is in the team have to adjust to Ross. Yeah, so he uh, can be an effective team. Here, Ross have to adjust to the team, and it didn't work last year, and it looks like it's not working already in the preseason. And it's not that Ross is not playing good, or that's not about personal efficiency. But if he's going to be tearing apart factor because he's not getting his way, then something is going to be really It's going to be really bad for chemistry, and it's going to be really bad for the identity and the culture that the Lakers are uh, trying to implement. And Darvin Ham, Darvin Ham has um, has advocated for Russ a lot, and it would be really, really, really bad thing if Ross, after Darvingham being, advocating for Ross, then Ross start like disrupting the chemistry. We I don't know if I want to put too much stock on that. The matter of fact that it was caught on tape, and I know there's not. I didn't actually see the exit interviews, but as far as I know, I haven't heard of any of them mentioning that as something. And usually, professionals, don't do that in sports, right? But but you know, as a fan, you have an uneasy feeling when you see things like that happening. Why Ross wanted to get into the hall, and it was not just Pat Bev; it was Anthony Davis that kind of tried to pull him in, and both uh, with both of them calling him for that, he just leaned pretty much away from uh, you know, that's not. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a situation about arrogance or about not really hatching things with with Pat Bev. Pat Bev, it's like I, many fans feel the same as I feel. If it's a Laker, if it's a Laker, I don't care what I felt about the guy before. But if he's a Laker, he is in my team. And in my team, everybody's welcome, right? So so I don't know. I don't know what's like. You have Pat Bev, who was a pest for you and for many people. Uh, Now he's your teammate. He's going to do all those things that you didn't like when he guarded you. Now he's going to do it to the other guy on the other team that you're playing against. And so, whatever you feel about Pat Bev, now he is bothering the guys on the other team. He's trying to get the victory for the Lakers. You know, and you may not like the methods, but but that's those players work. It's like when Dwight Howard was guarding uh, Jokic. It wasn't pretty the way he guarded him, but if he wasn't in this Jokic game, so I mean, it helped Lakers to win. What can I say about that? I mean, those that type of player is useful, and he prides on the things. And we want players to pride, pride on their defense. And we have a guy who can teach. young guys, who can guide young guys like Max Christie into that type of philosophy of being a tenacious guard. And we want that. The one thing I about Max Christie is he can play small forward. I mean, he's kind of skinny right now, and getting into his body. Man, he's 19, right? Or 20. I'm not sure. Uh, I know he's really young, but he's gonna grow into his body. He's got a good size where he can play guard. He can play 2 or 3. Um, and so if he gets his shot better, and he's already a good defensive player, but if he can get with Pat Bev, and Pat Bev can guide him, he could be a very tenacious defender with very effective defense. And also, Pat Bev is a good shooter. So, Pat Bev is a 3 and D guy. You know, he's a 3 and D guy. To be more of a point guard in that sense than a 3 and D guy that we usually want to call, which is 6'6", 6'7" guy who can be a 2 or a 3. Some maybe 4, like in the case of the Flippers. I can't remember. I can't. I don't even want to look for the Flippers roster. But 6. I don't know, 6'9", 6'10", outside shooters that can defend. You know, 3 and D guy can be also a point guard, right? So he's a quintessential type of player like that. Another thing about this game that I want to talk about is I expect a full lineup already. Like a fully. This is the lineup we're gonna use, and I don't want to see the 4 guard lineup that I saw in the last game. So I'm gonna leave the show right here. I hope you enjoy the game tonight. Um, take care of each other and yourself. May God bless you, and go Lakers. Bye bye.